Raise your hand if you were born via cesarean section or C-section. Okay, almost 1/3, which is about right. So I was also born via C-section. I actually have a fraternal twin sister, and she was born first vaginally, and then I was complicated, so I was born via C-section. And over the years, I have noticed that I suffer from allergies, and I get sick way more often than my sister does. A picture of us is on the slide. Babies born via C-section are only exposed to mom's skin bacteria, but babies born vaginally get exposed to all that great gut bacteria through the birth canal. Without this first inoculation of microbiota, C-section babies experience a delayed microbiota diversity and development, and this affects immunity. However, the mechanism of how this bacteria influences our immune development is unknown. The figure on the left shows the association between microbiota diversity and the risk of disease. C-section babies are more likely to develop chronic diseases like diabetes, obesity, inflammatory bowel disease, celiac disease, and asthma. I am interested in looking at asthma because asthma is more prevalent in rural areas like eastern North Carolina. The figure on the right shows that perturbed microbiota, like from a C-section, can increase the risk of bronchiolitis, which can increase the incidence of asthma. The purpose of my research is to determine the extent of the risk of asthma for C-section babies in eastern North Carolina. My proposed research is taking a random sample of babies born in 2012, looking at their 5-year wellness check in 2017, and looking at the physician diagnosis of asthma based on their mode of delivery. I will also record information about if they were breastfed or if they had antibiotics, because these two factors can potentially confound the relationship between mode of delivery and the diagnosis of asthma. In addition, if possible, I will obtain fecal samples to perform 16S RNA sequencing and quantitative PCR to determine the microbiota profiles and compare mom versus baby, and then stratify based on the diagnosis of asthma. With this, in conclusion, I will quantify the risk of asthma for C-section babies in eastern North Carolina and contribute to the gap to the unknown mechanism of how microbes influence immune development. Thank you.